This time on Road and Race, work starts on replacing my Boxster's IMS bearing, which means tackling the world's most rusted bolts. In the last video, I repaired all the brake lines on the car that were rusty. In this video, I'm starting the prep work to remove my IMS bearing. Like a lot of performance cars, there's usually one major design problem, and in this case it's a small bearing in the engine that holds the intermediate shaft. These have been known to fail, so it's prudent to replace it. To get access, you need to take a lot of stuff off the car, mainly the gearbox, but first the exhaust. Now, when I attempted this on my old 986 Boxster, it was a nightmare. The bolts were so rusty, I just had to basically drill them out. And it's no different on this car. So, to start taking the exhaust apart, you have to take these three nuts. When I say nuts, the rust and the heat have got to them and they're basically just a rusty mess. Look at this, I've already put penetrating fluid on it a few days ago. I'll give it a bit more. I'll try and clean it up and see if I can get these off. Here it is all cleaned up. As you can see, there should be a nut to the bottom there, but it's just a big kind of welded together mess. Look at the back bolt, you can just about see the nut is still mostly there and all the rust. But this one here, it's just one thing. I've cracked out what some people refer to as the angry bit. Given that bolt quite a good seeing to. Might need to take a little bit more material off there, but I'm leaving that for now. And moving on to this one, because this one, now that it's cleaned up, looks like it might move. So I'm gonna get a socket on it and see what I can do. Nope, that knot is not coming off. It has become one with the exhaust. It has joined the exhaust. It's now part of the exhaust. Even using the special kind of Irwin teethy, grabby, bitey socket, ain't budging it. Here are the selection of burrs I've been using. Well, using the carbide burr, I've managed to get the top two off. I've now got to try and figure out how to get this one off. One down here. That one, because obviously access is abundant. I've had a good rummage through my drawers and I found this extension. So now I've got the carbide bit on the end. This is very much unlikely to be the official Porsche way of tackling this situation. They probably have a special tool number 4217, the poke and grinding or something. And with it, I can reach this bottom nut, so I can grind that off. And here we can see where I've turned my exhaust into basically dust. With the 6 exhaust bolts now free, it's time to take off the rear bumper so I can get the exhaust out. I believe I've got the 6 bolts off, so the exhaust to the flange appears to be free. I've undone the 2 bolts that hold the exhaust on. Got my jack and also my seat holding up the back of the exhaust. So plan is now just try and wiggle the whole unit forwards this way or backwards to the right and see if it'll come off. Next to come off the car is some bracing and the anti-roll bar. Then the drive shafts need to be disconnected from the gearbox. Right, we're nearly there. The last thing to do is to remove the gearbox. To do that though, the engine needs to be supported. The official Porsche way is to buy special tool 9624/3, the /3 is important, and that screws in here and it supports the engine just here. But it's really expensive. It's over $500. So I got this stand from Sealy. It only costs £160 and can support up to 750 kilograms, so it can easily support the weight of the engine. It's obviously much more practical, as it can be used on lots of things such as fitting exhaust or supporting other parts of the car. So that's kind of it for now. I still need to remove the studs that are left on the exhaust header before I can put the exhaust back on. That's quite an involved job, so I'll leave that for another time. Last time I had to drill them out, but I've seen some videos of people heating them and banging them out. If you have any top tips, let me know. So, in the next video, I'll be replacing the IMS bearing, I'll be doing the clutch, and I'll be checking the rear main seal, see if that's leaking, and changing that if it needs it as well. If you have liked the video, please do hit the like button because it really does help the channel grow. I very much appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. Now, this is a serious job. Can I count on your support?
Oh yes, Mr. Neal, you can count on me.